All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's lock and load. It's time for game number one. This is the only one where the full teams of the LCS and the NACL are going to be up against one another. After this, it's going to be captain's draft. The players are going to get jumbled up, shuffled up. We'll see how that plays out later. But first off, we got to see how well the NACL boys stack up against their LCS counterparts. Obviously, I think we're all coming into this expecting the LCS team to be the winners.
Yeah, probably. We're just hoping to have some fun along the way. I mean, Flowers, let's be real. If this isn't at least a kill and a half or 2 kills a minute, I'm going to be disappointed.
Oh yeah, no, give me a bloody match. If we're gonna go with the more meta picks in the draft, I want to see non-meta gameplay as Masu and Busio just immediately gonna go into this bot side mid lane brush, ready to square up with Chime. And all right, we're not gonna get a whole lot more out of this one. I was kind of hoping maybe we just get full on level 1 kill, but nah.
No, nice of Sajed to get the W out there from Nami. Lucian W is nice. Sajed, definitely a fun one for this Challenger squad. I think a big story for FlyQuest LCS this year was, Masu being that rookie, the most valuable prospect, was 1 year in Challengers and was done. Sajed trying to do the same thing as it's his first year competing in Challengers, made it on this squad and has been doing decently well as a rook. Is at the moment going to be down a hair in trading, but should be able to sustain himself with that red gun. And each jungler working their way towards the bot side, so if things get volatile down there, they'll be able to capitalize on that.
Alrighty, where's our junglers going to go? That's the big question I got my mind on, because these guys, they both have some potential here to really get these lanes going. I mean, Yone versus Aatrox, we all know how these end up looking up in solo queue games, man. Yone versus Aatrox just turns into a mess one way or the other pretty much every single time. Mid lane, Hui versus Taliyah, the battle of wave clear, as Hui uses his Rumble ulti on Q to spam clear the waves out. Taliyah is going to be trying to play a similar game, and then they both rotate around, try to get something done there. But unfortunately, we still got to wait a minute or two here before we really get into the action. I don't think anybody's just going to go full send here at the very start before 3 minutes.
No, much to our chagrin, right? We'll have the blood coming later. At least I will say, Jensen on the Hui against Taliyah, this is a matchup where later on, Taliyah a little bit vulnerable to range, and Hui is something that I think we've really seen emerge. I know that Nico hasn't been enabled on this past patch, so that was a pick where you could play it in a Hui and play fast enough where this champion doesn't really, get to where it needs to be, but I think we've seen Hui do quite a bit with some of the lockdown, and it brings a lot of damage and some decent utility that you can pick into the mix from the mid lane.
Yeah, there's just turns out when you have 10 different abilities, you can have a lot of different outcomes for what you contribute to the fight, right? Top side here, the 1v1 just continues popping off as Surdy is not afraid of Whippo whatsoever. Wait, are these CS numbers correct?
No,
because
a little bit of a buggy scoreboard right now.
Okay, I was going to say, there's no way 2 professional players have 0 and the 1 farm at 3.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, not quite yet. That's all right. As at the moment, I will say Inspired was able to pick up that bot Crab, so Shaden's going to be taking the top one. It looks like he'll be rotating out his camp seat to start that Raptor, which is pretty common as Poppy, but not too much aggression being shown by Shaden. As of course, Poppy, you do have the option for those dives. Not going to be the choice, as a lot of fighting in the top side.
Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. Now let's see down here if we got. Okay, never mind. Oh yeah. By the way, observers. This is the hidden tech that I know. Hold on, Shaden coming in for the dive immediately, right as I'm trying to talk tech. It's first blood for the NACL. Shaden coming around there, setting it up. They managed to get that first one, but bottom lane, the 2v2. Masu's exploded. Sajed grabbing that kill there in the 2v2 battle. This is just absolutely popping off for the NACL squad. Busio tries to flash in. He'll make it a 1-for-1, but surely this fish is cooked. Chime going right back in for the last auto attack. Melio burns him up, and Emote's on top of it.
Yeah, and love to see Surdy again setting up these dives with Shaden. I think these two play really well around each other. Of course, we're in the EG camp last year as Surdy did play with their Challenger squad in summer. Shaden and Armeo, they were switching between LCS back and forth, but some of that synergy coming in. I think Surdy is someone that he really has a very sound idea of how to play out his lanes, and oftentimes I find him able to execute them, and really nice to see him do that against Whippo.
Dude, and like I talked about earlier, once this lane starts going one way or the other, both of these characters are solo queue protagonists, right?
Yeah.
They can just take over the game, dunk the whole lane. Surdy's having a real nice game state right now. It's a total of plus 1,000 gold for the NACL squad. But the LCS boys are starting up the Drake now, using their control over the bot lane, rotate them over there, guarantee that Inspired's able to take that one as Bwipo goes in for the trade top side here. Surdy doing a good job getting away from it, but he has the ulti ready to go. There it is, Q3 into the fate sealed. Surdy gets the 1v1 against Bwipo and sits him down.
That's quite nasty coming out of Surdy. Hit the 6, able to get that. As again, Bwipo, he isn't able to TP back to that lane, so gonna lose a lot. And Yone, as you called it out, Flowers, I mean, once you get going, you are stat checking everyone. You are too big. So Jensen, looking like he's gonna pick up Surdy, and Bwipo will walk him in to pick up that wave.
All right, Surdy, you gotta try to get out of here, buddy. I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, he even just drops the ulti on him. The spiraling, what is this thing called? Oh, yeah, he hits him with the spiraling despair. I actually had it right. I should have just gone with it. There's your lesson for the day, Twitch chat. If you don't know what any of the abilities are called, just fake it till you make it, because sometimes you might end up right. Spiraling despair. He's not willing to let this dude get away. He knows that Yone's a slippery champion.
I think that, Freak designed Hui just to challenge you, Flowers. He missed being in the same room as you, and he's just like, you know what? I got to still give him something.
We got to make it challenging, right? Shaden's coming down here into the bottom lane. Hex Flash Poppy, but he just...
okay.
I'm going to say he meant to do that. He didn't want to go in. It was a little bit too dicey.
I thought he might have been able to take down Pusio, who was flashless, but Shaden showing a little bit of restraint.
Yeah, okay. All right. Playing it cool.
Yeah, playing it cool. And honestly, I mean, the hardest part right now for FlyQuest LCS is that top lane's doomed. I mean, Bwipo cannot go there, and just Shaden pushes Masu off bot.
And hey, if top lane is already doomed, if you don't have to worry about that, why not put the pressure somewhere else? Shaden just helping Sajet and Chime make sure that they've got this completely controlled. Surdy has the shield from the Yone, so he's going to use that to tank the tower shot as he continues trading so aggressively on Bwipo. Man, Aatrox is doomed. Plus 1,384 gold in that one singular matchup. Over 1,400 now, as it's always going to be Surdy first to the wave. It's always going to be him with the control. Does Bwipo really have a chance here other than call for jungle, or is this one GG?
There's always a chance to outplay, but it's something where the cues from Aatrox are so telegraphed, and Yone does have a lot of ways to get out of it. It almost has to be a bit of a misplay on the side of Surdy. But if Bwipo's able to throw out like a couple nice Q2s, sometimes you can catch the Yone, who is, of course, like trying to go to his soul if he has a bad dash. I think that's about the only way that Bwipo can get back. Besides that, it's going to be him trying to be impactful in these team fights. Chime and Sajed, they eat the culling, and we'll be able to catch the wave.
Yep, just the culling thrown out there to guarantee that they can force that minion wave down, take their recall on the timing that they want. That's a massive wave they already have to catch, so nice job there from Masu and Busio, just making sure that they're staying on the tempos that they want to be on. Inspired's hanging out around the mid lane, just seeing if maybe Talia gets a little bit too confident he can punish him. But look at this, man. The Poppy's ready for another pain train right up here in the top side. Bwipo's in some trouble. He tries to get the quick combo on him, immediately pops the World Ender. He's flying away. Fly home, little Aatrox. There is nothing for you here. The wave is going to crash into the turret. Back in the mid lane, Inspired coming in for the ulti. Quad is locked down. Spiraling despair. Get out of there. Jensen picking one up, trying to keep the game as close as they can. Still a 2,000 gold lead overall for the NACL boys, as Bwipo just wants to play League of Legends, but Shaden doesn't want to let him. Bwipo being forced all the way back to the tier 2 turret as Yone uses his incredibly balanced E to force his opponent all the way away from the minions and then go right back to where he began. Surdy and Shaden doing a great job here, suffocating Bwipo in the top lane.
I mean, I don't know what Bwipo was saying to these guys before this game started, but I think the Challengers League, they're making it a little bit personal up there on the top side as Bwipo gets zoned off. I will say it's worth it for FlyQuest LCS. I mean, Hui picking that up. I think that's fine for Jensen. Already has that Luden's Companion completed.
Yeah, Luden's Companion. It's always one of those items that'll catch you a little bit off guard if you've been avoiding the isolated situation for most of the game, and then all of a sudden you're there without a minion wave, you get hit by a spell. The chunk damage on the thing is pretty brutal, so hopefully we're going to get to see some crazy Hui plays. The nice part about it, too, is this item gives you so much extra burst on top of a champion whose burst comes from the situations where if multiple guys are layered on top of each other and you get the passive to proc multiple times, this champion is so hard to commentate because of how insane his burst windows are.
Yeah, and I think that like when we have seen it be successful in LCS, it's been with a jungler like Rel, because yoinking everyone together, you're able to stack on that Hui ultimate. We saw Hui have a couple of really big fights. I remember I think XU and Dove were able to set up a really good fight. They didn't win that game, but that was like, we could see this combo be successful. And FlyQuest, I mean, they have things that can help make space for Hui, especially that Vi ult. I mean, if you follow up cease and assist with Hui ult of your own, that's a pretty easy way to lock someone down and take them down.
Wait, I think I have game sounds now, Cubby.
Yeah.
Yes. Somehow I fixed it. I'm a technical genius, and Chime is really wishing he was anywhere else on Summoner's Rift right about now. FlyQuest LCS grabbing the first kill, but Shaden's ready for the counterattack as Quad throws out the rocks. A little bit more damage, but it won't be found just yet. A double kill back over to Jensen as they look for another. Ooh. The NACL collapses. The LCS boys just absolutely decimate them. Let's take a look at the replay.
The insta replay coming in. Chime walks into a brush that he should not. He doesn't have pride. We got to get out of that because Masu.
Oh no, Sajed trying to get out of this one. Lands the Aphelios ult, he takes them both low. This might be the outplay right there. Chime coming around, trying to finish these guys off. He's got the cozy campfire, giving him a little bit more range. But now, the attempted outplay from Masu will be answered. And a burst there from Sajed to guarantee that they get the outplay. They get the kill.
Yeah, the heal on the campfire is making sure the Aphelios survives. Lucian falls, but still back after that. Very positive for FlyQuest LCS as Jensen, their mid laner, he's sitting pretty at the 5-0. We're going to see how much this newer, I should say, champ can get done this game, Flowers.
Yeah, the new champs are always fun because you never really know how balanced they are for pro until you start seeing more of them in pro. Despite the fact that Hui has had a few plays in other regions, LEC I know has played him a few times, this champion has really not been picked much at all in LCS. I believe it's still only just the one game that was played by Mask, I believe, in the Immortals versus Dig, their most recent matchup. So
yeah,
this champion,
that one too.
Largely unproven in LCS so far. Right now, Jensen is on 5-0 with them. The whole game is on his back.
It's interesting because, like, in LEC, we have Humanoid, like, drawing bans for how good he is at this pick. And then in LCK, like, Barrel's playing it support and poke lanes. It's kind of crazy, like, at least the different reads that different regions and players have on this champ at the moment. I definitely think that, like, it's doable mid. But again, the way that I saw Hui being beaten, especially in Champs Queue, when people were just trying to figure out this champ when it came out, was playing fast against it and playing side lanes. Because that is where Hui can be somewhat vulnerable. And honestly, if FlyQuest challengers want to have a shot in this game, I think it's going to have to be Surdy in the side lane, taking over and kind of fighting around the Hui that is so fed and really at a point that FlyQuest challengers cannot deal with.
Okay, let's see how well Jensen can deal with the overall team that's further ahead on NACL squad. Right? Well, I guess actually not. I love the fact that we have these little individual gold things down here, so I'm trying to still deal with 19 different tech things. I'm just saying random crap that I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. It's a little bit tough, but you know what? We're going to get there. Whippo, speaking of trying to get there, he finds a nice little quick trade onto Surdy, but the problem is you're still dealing with Yone at the end of the day. Snap back, right back to where he was, ready to go again. Whippo down to 300 HP. You got to leave. You got to leave. You're not going to win this fight. Not from here. Surdy, still thinking about maybe how much he wants to threaten this guy. Whippo has no flash. Surdy just stepping forward saying he's not going to let him even complete the recall. This is so scary, man.
Nice to see Surdy's Yone. This is a pick where, funnily enough, one offseason, I helped TL with one of their tryouts as a coach, and Surdy kind of ran the tryouts on this pick. It ended up being like permaban, and it was really because of how he was able to play out this matchup. Back then, it was Steel Caps was the tech, but he's got the Berserker Greaves, and he's really going off. As now Sajed Chime, they have a few more levels under their belt. That's extra range for the Aphelios with Green Gun, and you can see that Lucian Nami very vulnerable to that range as time goes on in this matchup. Hang on, we got a big trade.
Yeah, it's Shaden coming around. He does not want to allow this to be a fair fight for much longer. Goes for the slam into the turret on the Nami, but he ain't going to find it. Now a TP coming in from Whippo, looking to cut these boys off. Busio grabbing the kill on Shaden as Whippo arrives. Sajed is dead. Now you got even more coming down as Quad just expires. Chime's going to get chased down. Jensen calls in the orbital cannon of paint to hit him. And now Inspired's just looking for the follow-up. Jensen looking for another one, forcing the flash out of the enemy support. FlyQuest NACL struggling in the larger fights.
I mean, their entire, any gold lead they have, it's on Surdy. And Surdy, he's not able to interact with this fight. He's taking camps right now. So the double TP, I mean, that comes instantly once Shaden commits under this turret. And the numbers advantage, the gold, it's all in the pockets of FlyQuest. These are the members that are going to be in the fight. Really nice collapse from Whippo, Jensen, and friends to make sure that this play wasn't even close to being successful for NACL boys.
Problem is, FlyQuest Challenger. Uh-oh, hold on now. We got another problem with Shaden again. Gonna be caught out. FlyQuest LCS just looking for these invades, looking for these plays every single second. But here comes Sturdy. He's made his way into the fight, and he's made his way onto Jensen. Snap back, get ready for target number 2. Inspired's gonna be cut down. Whippo's in trouble next. Fate sealed back over the wall, and he's ready to ball. Whippo still trying to run the hell away, but they aren't gonna let the man do it. He's trying to fight his way out, but it's a 1v4. Let the bodies hit the floor. Sturdy's in there, and that's what the NACL squad needed.
My God, he has an infinity edge already. I saw Jensen taking a sip of coffee in the player cam. He's like, yep, I just got Yoned. Sturdy makes it to that fight and make sure that FlyQuest Challengers get some gold back on their shoulders. So we'll see if any team thinks about this dragon coming up.
Here's what this is, man. This is what I was going to say right before that fight broke out.
Yeah.
FlyQuest Challengers, FlyQuest NACL, whatever you want to call them, they are an episode of Dragon Ball Z. Sturdy is Goku. The other 4 are 4 different versions of Krillin. All right? They're going to struggle a little bit. The bad guys are going to beat them up. They're going to smack him in the mouth. But as soon as Goku shows up, you got a problem.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, that's the episode there. All right, the rest of the team needs to get the Dragon Balls and bring Goku back. Because without him, you're not going to beat the bad guys.
Dear Lord, Jensen, that damage from Jensen was filthy there. Oh my God. Sturdy's been wiping everyone off the map, and then Jensen just kind of shows up and makes sure that he goes down. And
yeah. Like Goku cursed him, dude.
Oh no. I didn't see this arc personally, Flowers. I don't know what's going on, but unfortunately, Sturdy, he's out to the Shadow Realm or something. Maybe the wrong manga there, but either way, he's hitting the gray screen. Dragon goes over to FlyQuest LCS boys for free, as Inspire's going to clean that one up, and all of a sudden, it kind of balanced out this map. It really is just surviving the raid boss on the top side.
Dude, this scoreboard tells the whole story of the whole game. It just disappeared, but I remember what it said. It was under a 200 gold difference in the 80 carry roll. Yeah, 146 favors Lucian, 40 favors Melio, plus 400 for Vi. Sure, that feels like a nice lead. Plus 4,000 for Hui. And that sounds like it should be the defining thing of the game. No, plus 6 large for the Yone over the Aatrox. Whippo still does not have a fully completed item. Yone is working on his 3rd. That is just not playable.
No. When I was setting up, like Sturdy knows how to play out, his lanes really well and like call for help. I wasn't expecting this.
No.
This is something special from Sturdy, who is putting up a really nice split. I do want to shout him out. It was a really fun game of Challengers. The FlyQuest played this last week, where they were up 20-5 in 8K gold, and a Smolder almost beat them. But Sturdy was 9-0 on Cassante at like the 18-minute mark that game, and he ended up having to save them later on. It was the goofiest game. Smolder's power curve is just ridiculous, and of course Challengers. Where things are a bit sloppier in Challengers, like it's a lot less likely to clean these snowball games, or it's either that or they get snowballed like out the wazoo. We have seen some Smolders do some filthy things, and Sturdy definitely, that was a fun one the FlyQuest Challengers played. Sturdy had to step up to save that one, as he put up a pretty beastly Cassante game.
As soon as I saw Smolder beat a pentakill Zeri in the LCS, I knew that this champion was going to start causing some moments. As the Nami ulti flies out, FlyQuest Challengers got to try to disengage, but they turn it right back around on Masu. Shaden gets the kill. Whippo's looking for maybe an angle here. Nice double bubble, but it ain't going to find much more. Jensen finally arrived to the fight. That's the cannon. That's the big dude on the team right there, so couldn't really do a whole lot until he joined up. Immortal Shield Bow completed for Sturdy's Yone, so this guy's now at that 3 fully completed item stage. He's so strong. He's got so much lifesteal. It's impossible to remove him from the lane unless you kill him, but it's such a tall task. If Hui isn't there, Yone's not going to die.
Yeah, I actually like the sequence from FlyQuest Challengers, because not only did they get the picked mid, which it wasn't exactly expected. I think it was a little bit of a misplay there from Masu, but Sturdy, he got that wave all the way into the inhibitor turret, and this enables Quad, after Sturdy saw 3, to pick up some waves safely for himself. So again, if FlyQuest, NACL, if they don't have any chance of winning this one, I think that Sturdy's going to have to stretch the map a bit. And this is a good moment from them, because it's enabling Quad to get some farm. They got to pick themselves, so well played.
All right, still FlyQuest Challengers up about 2,000 overall compared to their opponents, but so much of it is the Jensen versus Surdy show. Sajed under a lot of pressure here from the Spiraling Despair, but Quad, Shaden coming around from behind. Masu trying to escape off to the right, going to be reinforced by Whippo. Now Surdy's in the middle of everybody. Focus fire, that man is gone. Masu takes the kill, and the rest of FlyQuest have to head for the hills. There's no way to win the fight with the Yone already down. Whippo's going to keep the chase alive as Shaden has to flash. FlyQuest LCS found exactly the pick they needed, and Masu ain't done yet. He dashes in, but he goes over Unraveled Earth. He has to flash back out just to survive. I like the killer instinct there, but the execution not quite where it needed to be. Inspired, ready to fight for some chickens, but Shaden just smites away the big one and runs off.
Surdy, that TP was a little bit deep and pretty easy for Inspired, right? Just press R. Really good follow-up from Busio on the bubble to make sure that Yone was locked down and they have the damage to deal with him, as he is the problem. And that's been 2 moments now where Surdy, I think that one was a little bit deep. That's not a look that, he can really afford to take, and kind of why it's difficult to team fight with this Fed Yone at times, and why I think they really need to lean on their sides to try and set up numbers advantages, because on even footing, there are a lot of tools that FlyQuest can use to clean the execute and make sure this Yone can't pop off when they have all 5 members grouped together.
Right. Yone has a lot of ability to dodge around. He has a lot of outplay buttons. But Vi is a champion that specifically exists to counter modern-day outplay champions, because you can't outplay getting a button pressed on you. I play a lot of Skarner, right? I'm very familiar with this concept. Shaded, jumping in there. Knock up onto Whippo. Still trying to control him here with a steadfast presence, but as Jensen shows up, that's what you got to be afraid of. Spiraling Despair coming out. Shaden isolated from the rest of the team. Massive amount of damage coming through, man. Jensen is just splattering these guys all over the canvas this game. Surdy trying to get away now. Busio hits him with a bubble, but the buffer through with a fate sealed. Yone, just such an incredibly balanced champion. I'm allowed to say this because we're not on LCS.
I mean, that's true. I hate this champion. This thing's my ban. It beat out Master Yi.
Same.
Yeah, it beat out Master Yi for my ban, because it's just a stat-checking nightmare. He presses E, he gets to smork you, and you just can't do anything about it. But, on the flip side, Jensen bought a hat, and I looked at that damage, and that didn't look too balanced either.
No. He is absolutely running people over. 8-1-1 here on the Hui. Rabadons plus Ludens plus Horizon Focus. Sorcerer's Shoes on the boot, too, just for the extra M-Pen. This guy is so scary right now, but it's FlyQuest Challengers starting up the Baron. Let's see how well they can get away with this. Busio's off to the side, wants to throw the bubble on the enemy jungler. If Masu just kills Shaden before they can manage to get this low enough for him to try to go in and smite it, that could be a real problem. Whippo back over the wall. He's still looking for an opportunity to flank, but the man is so weak. He has to have the rest of the team behind him, as Shaden is going to eat the majority of the culling. Shaden down to 300 HP. The rest of FlyQuest Challengers disengaging on this. They wanted to go for the play, but the thing is, Hui is in the Dragon Pit. Jensen is soloing the Infernal Drake. This is Infernal Soul. You want to talk about burst? You want to talk about damage? Jensen is going to give people even more problems than he was already doing, and he's a thorn in their side from minute 1. This is Monka W.
I mean, interesting formation from FlyQuest LCS to make sure that gets done, but I guess when you're Hui's that fed, you can, as Quad has to use the stopwatch.
Ooh, Quad trying to get out there. Oh, nice bubble onto 2, but Emilio immediately ready to answer with a breath of life. Quad and Shaden trying to get away. Sajed just locked down by the Spiraling Despair. Look at the chunk on his health bar. That chunk hit him for about 40%.
I mean, the Horizon Focus plus the Lunen's Companion and the Death Cap to boot, just making sure you got plenty of AP to get that damage down. That is going to be a problem that FlyQuest Challengers will have to deal with. Emilio can help absorb that, but their engage is going to have to be clean. I think that's part of why they keep on hitting this Baron, as it was a reset for Jensen. He's got no TP. It's at half. I think they're going to get this.
They're burning it down, but Whippo's coming in. Nami wave over the top, too. Whippo looks for the angle, goes after Quad. Baron still at about 3,000 HP. Shaden looking to smite it, but it's FlyQuest ready to fight it. Whippo grabs the first kill, and now the Baron is secured by Shaden. What about the rest of the fight? Because Inspired's already down. Jensen staying distant. Surdy in the middle of everybody trying to fight. A massive shield comes through, but it's not going to be enough. He'll take one with them, but a 1-for-1 trade losing Surdy is never worth it for FlyQuest Challengers. Chime and Sajed still trying to fight back against Jensen. Shaden goes over the wall. They want to try to kill the Hui. They finally got him. Busio and Masu now looking to stand and fight, but the Ophelios is ready to go. The man's got Chakram spinning and winning a little bit more damage, and he's gonna get it a double kill. Back over to Ophelios. You want to talk about anime protagonists? This dude's got the hair right in front of his eyes, and he just swiped it out of the way. What a moment for Sajed.
Oh, really well played by Sajed, who, honestly, I mean, a fun story for FlyQuest Challengers. Again, he's kind of trying to do what Masu did last year with have the one-and-done year in Challengers. And I know FlyQuest, they thought that he was the best in the tape. and a lot of it was pretty much from his team fighting. Good to see him step up as that Talia Unraveled Earth did a nice job of holding the door, making sure that it was really tough for Inspired to get in. And then on the back half with the escape, Surdy gets the massive shield and is somehow able to make sure that that's a 1-for-1. Jensen gets blown up by Shade, and I like the call to go in. Sajed using the red-white, flashes forward to make sure that that play that is fed out of his goddamn mind's taken down. Masu dashing in, a little bit Aaron in the back half. It might actually open up a window where FlyQuest Challengers can at least balance out this map a bit. They do have a lead on the scoreboard as Shaden. Hold on.
Yeah, Shaden, nice use of the steadfast presence, but the bubbles are hitting all over. Now Sturdy ready for the engage, but he's in the middle of everyone. Has to try to reset his position, and Inspired's ready to answer. Inspired now disengaging. Whipple with the World Ender. Shaden and Chime trying to get away, but these two are isolated as Sturdy still looks for a re-entry to the fight. Back over the wall, has to flash out of the way from the bubble yet again. Busio doing a great job as Quad comes around from behind, riding the Weaver's wall. Sturdy still back underneath the tier 2. Tries to turn it around. Will not find it. Inspired barely lives, but Sturdy's already down. Sajed's about to dive to the spiraling despair, and there it goes. The sadness, baby. Goodbye to the Aphelios as Shaden is now on the run and Jensen and Busio are still chasing. Inspired, recovering his HP as Quad tries to escape. A double kill back over to Jensen. Another beautiful mark. The culling comes in. Quad ain't gonna live through this one. No amount of Seraphs get to your wings after this one. You're in the arms of the Angels, baby. Jensen running the show yet again.
I mean, I think FlyQuest, or, League of Legends, they should have used some of this Hue footage in the trailer for the champ release, as Jensen is just popping fools left and right. These Ws are hitting for, like, 500 health, man. I mean, this is what we wanted to see, a scrim game. These guys gave up a scrim block to play this charity match. We were being gifted free scrim footage, and we just get to see ridiculous stuff. Look at this Hue. It's 12-2-1. I don't know what he's going to go next. Maybe a Cosmic Drive coming in, but, I mean, he is just popping everyone left and right.
He's smurfing on him, man. We got a game that is only 100 gold apart. Now, there's a big damage boost in the favor of the FlyQuest LCS squad because of the fact they have Infernal Soul. 4 Drakes to nothing. But Cubby, I've always been a subscriber to the idea of if you're in a game that, you're kind of up against the wall, you're expected to not win this one, and your opponents are already winning in the Drakes, just give them the soul. Flip it at Elder.
Flip it?
Full
You
YOLO.
flip it?
Yeah, you flip it at the Elder, you trust your jungler, and then if he misses the smite, GG, go next. Better jungle wins. Right? Let's see it. That's what I want to see. Big battle at the Elder Drake. Final boss.
I think you're going to get your gift. I mean, it is a charity show match after all. And, the charity here is that somehow the gold is even on the scoreboard, even though it's pretty much all on Surdy, who now has a Jack show completed. 4 items to 2 against Bwipo, as Surdy continues to assert dominance. And FlyQuest, they're going to move to take an Outer on the top side. They should reset pretty soon, though. I think they're just going to take this and then reset for the Elder.
I'm going to give Bwipo like 1.5 items. Because I know that Aatrox doesn't want to build Serpent's Fang. It's kind of like just a, hey guys, I'm probably going to die anyway. Serpent's Fang is a good NPC item. Like, you're not the hero this game. You're one of the NPCs that works with the heroes because you're just so far behind. So you build something that'll help out, but not exactly like, get your name in a starring role in the credits. It'll bust some of the shields on the Yone. It'll bust some of the shields on the Poppy. Like, you're going to get value out of this, but he would definitely rather be building something else.
No, I respect it. I think there's a good lesson you can take home to solo queue, If you're not the main character, get in line.
Yeah, it's like help the team, do something useful. So let's see. We've got 35 seconds here on this Elder, 90 seconds on the Baron. So if a team can grab the Elder and not just get immediately aced as the cause, you're set up in a great spot to then control the Baron right after. It's going to be a really important fight. Keep your eyes on Sturdy. FlyQuest LCS has been doing a good job marking him, bursting him, not allowing him to be the carry that he was early on for FlyQuest Challengers, and that's what they're going to have to keep on doing. If Yone gets one fight where he's not properly controlled, FlyQuest Challengers can still run away with this.
I think it's going to be really tough, especially with Sturdy being spotted on the bot side. As you can see, Inspired and Bwipo, they're already just kind of waiting to see if Sturdy shows. Sturdy being a bit patient here. He needs to be. He's still very much in danger as Inspired. He's going to at least check that bot brush. The new bot Try Brush doesn't spot him. FlyQuest Challengers might try and catch this wave high, but then we might get an Australian situation here.
Yeah.
Things are a little bit flipped on their heads.
Oh,
God.
Bwipo going in, forcing the flash out of Chime immediately. Nicely done on that one. As Shaden gets out of the way of the seismic shove, Inspired's ready to go. They find the Vi ulti. They've locked down Sajed. He has to try to get away from it, but Aphelios is already down before the fight even really starts. Surdy is nowhere nearby. FlyQuest LCS, with the 5v4 situation, managed to find the angle that they needed. They pop a valuable enemy player. Not the most valuable, but the second most valuable target on the enemy team is out of the picture. Right as the Elder is about to spawn, FlyQuest LCS, they're going in, they're ready to go for it. Elder, now going. Sturdy, eating a lot of damage from Masu, who is just unafraid of this Yone. There's the Immortal Shield Bow, already going to get procced. Sturdy's about to get bursted down. Masu grabbing the kill on him. Meanwhile, Quad drops at the same time. Chime tries to escape off to the right, and Masu is still killing him. A double kill back over to Lucian, one for each gun, as Chime is just going to get beat to death. Inspired applies Knuckles to Jawbones, and there's no way Chime walks out of this one, baby. Goodbye, good night, get on out of here. Just trying to waste some time. Inspired is letting him keep on walking. Desync the death timers. They're just going to march down mid lane.
That's the Overwatch tech. No whip of the Elder, unfortunately, Flowers, but FlyQuest LCS boys gonna take this one. Shout out to the Challengers boys. I think they had a couple of decent looks, as we're gonna listen right now of, we're getting a listen at what FlyQuest comes for. It's kind of fun. Might have some more fun with that later on, but game one of the show match done, Flowers. Now we're gonna have to see who picks who.
Yeah, that's going to be the exciting part about the next one. FlyQuest LCS tried... Uh-oh. Cubby, we might have got ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, hold on.
It looks like FlyQuest Challengers is not done. Sturdy, wrapping around from behind. The teleport was used. They got to try to catch these guys. Jensen here on the front. He's going to be the focus at the start. Fate sealed. Helps find him. They're locking him down here at the very beginning, but now Masu is still left to run around on the back line. They need to try to kill off the Lucian. Masu goes right back into the base. Quad chasing after him. Not going to find enough damage there with the rocks just yet as Sturdy jumps forward. The calling right back. Masu is ready to stand and fight, but there's just more guys spawning for the side of FlyQuest Challengers. They will end up getting the kill on both Jensen and Masu, but the Elder Drake is claimed by Inspired. Elder Drake, for how big and bad his name sounds, the dude just sucks at fighting. It's really, really kind of a shame how much of a wuss the Elder Dragon is. Riot, you should buff him, make him like do really cool raid boss dragon stuff. Vi should not just be able to punch him in the mouth for 30 seconds and solo kill him.
I mean, Vi, I think it might be like the arcane buff, you know? Vi's got super gloves.
Arcane
okay, hold on,
Vi?
30.
Well, 30. Yeah. Let's see if Yone's about to get a spot in Arcane Season 2. Just trying to run forward there with the Soul Unbound. Gets locked up with a bubble yet again. Busio has been having some amazing bubbles in this game, Cubby. He has hit multiple multi-man bubbles throughout this one.
I mean, no surprise for me. Busio is someone that, you know, he always had the hands when I had him back in Challengers. It's been good to see him show that off on the LCS stage today. But meanwhile, our Challengers boys up against an Elder. They split the recalls themselves, and thanks to that TP, they're actually going to pick up a Baron. Surdy able to ult on out of there, and I guess we're going to get some comms here for FlyQuest Challengers.
Yep. Wait, no flash. Aatrox no flash. Buy no flash.
You need swips.
I'm hearing Blippa too.
On bot for a ride.
Yeah, we got all the comms.
A little bit of a double comms.
All right.
I have no flash right now. Good. If I walk up here, delay that.
All right.
All
Well,
right, so a little bit of a listen in there, seeing what's going on here. This game, 33 minutes. We have 41 kills. We've had an Elder Drake. We had a Baron then go to the other side. We're still only 2,000 gold apart. The players are really showing up here in this one, giving us a great game number one. A reminder that QR code on the left side of your screen can be scanned to help donate to the cause. This is a charity stream. We're working with the Conservation Fund to keep the planet going into the late games. So if you've got the means, if you've got the available funds to contribute to that, we would sincerely appreciate it. You can see some of the top donators to the left of that right there.
Yeah.
As Surdy versus Inspired. That's a fight Inspired's never going to win, but Surdy knows that he's got backup nearby. It's not about the Vi. It's about the painter hanging out right there, looking to dispense some of Bob Ross's justice if he goes any further.
You know, I feel like Sajad needs to play some way because he's got the closest to like Bob Ross hair, you know? I feel like that needs to happen at some point. That might be a captain's draft ask for me.
Hey, that works for me. Let's go for it. Well, FlyQuest, they're still trying to keep this push alive. They still have control over the map right now. FlyQuest Challengers trying to answer them. Shaden locked up here on the front line, taking so much damage as Quad rides in the Weaver's wall. Nice job stunning up. Whippo forces him right back. Meanwhile, Shaden leading the charge in the main fight. He's going to be healed up by Redemption, barely kept alive again. Beautiful job there from Chime. Reinforcing as they catch out the enemy carry. Jensen dies first. This is huge for FlyQuest Challengers. Bucio's about to drop next as Inspired tries to get out, but Sajed is sniping him down. He finds the long-range headshot, baby, and we've got a 3-for-0 fight for FlyQuest Challengers. They don't want to give up this momentum. They want to keep pushing down the top lane. The boys have Baron, and they're looking to use it.
That was really well played by Sajad. He had green-purple gun set up for that fight. He was able to find the route later on Jensen. Surdy with a really nice follow-up. That was a clean execution. Everyone stayed alive. Surdy's going to play a little bit of base defense, but the rest of the boys are pushing.
Okay, we've got a 4-man push versus a 2-man defense. Masu and Whippo need to hold the line a little bit longer here.
Oh.
Sajed wanting to go in, lock down Masu. If they kill the Lucian, they might actually have a win angle here. Still 8 seconds on Jensen coming back into the mix. 5 on Busio. FlyQuest challengers looking for Nexus turrets here. They've still got minions, but they need them to walk up a little bit further.
Hard.
First Nexus turret already down. Jensen coming back into the picture. Masu trying to dodge away as Sturdy goes for the fake seal, but he ain't gonna find it. Whippo's into the back line in the meantime. The Aatrox coming around. The ace comes through for 40 minutes. This man has suffered for 40 minutes. He has endured the wrath of God and anime. And now at the very end, it's Whippo coming in through the back. Oh my God, the inhibitor's trolling me, and now he's gonna kill the inhibitor, but hold on, Chime is about to die next. Shaden misses the ulti. The rest of FlyQuest chasing down the Poppy. Whippo just trying to hit this stupid inhibitor over and over again, but he's batting his stats for minions instead. I'm not gonna stop. Whippo's not gonna stop either. He's still trying to kill the inhibitor. They're still trying to kill the Poppy. Shaden's gonna be killed finally with a couple more bullets from Lucian. The execute is there. Whippo just taunting on him. Aatrox's revenge! He will not be denied, but he's also not going to do it fast either. Another teleport coming in. I just accidentally sort of choked on my own saliva. That's not very good. We got 5 seconds before Aphelios is back in the game. FlyQuest LCS. They want to farm more kills. They want another kill on Sajed. They're going to find it with Spiraling Despair. Quad nearly dies to it as well. The Resurrection coming in, so the kill don't count just yet. FlyQuest challengers still respawning their dudes. A Nami wave flies off into the fountain. The Nexus still struggling. They're still pushing. The game's gonna end, please. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. FlyQuest LCS takes the dub.
I mean, it is a show match. We had to play by ARAM rules, you know, where you can't touch the Nexus. And it was nice of Whippo to let everyone get in on the family photo. So I feel like that's very respectable among both teams here.
What a game, man. What a game.
You know, Flowers, you got one more game. Usually, like, compared to like your LCS slate on a day, you're going hard on that one. You're not holding anything back with that LCS going.
Man, we're having
that's gonna be a real treat, you know.
I've got my world's okayest Skarner mug so that I stay hydrated.
Nice.
Azale got me this as a present because he plays a lot with me, and he won't call me bad, but he won't call me good either. So this is just it's pretty appropriate. That game. I'm not going to call it sloppy, but I'm not going to call it clean. I'm going to call it magical, because that's what game number 1 was.
You know, we said that you were going to get gifted to a scrim block, and I don't think that's how every scrim block looks, but, you know, we like to have some fun at the end. It was a hard-fought victory. You got to make sure the boys get to celebrate, get in the family photo. As, I don't know, I mean, fun game. I like how Busio like, you know, we're try-hard drafting, and then, you know, they try hard to make sure that they end the game, but they had to end it for fun, you know, just to prove it wasn't too serious, right?
Right, exactly. We got to move on to the rest. We've got a lot more game to play today. The team shuffling is coming up next with the captain's draft. That's going to be a lot of fun. So you can only drag game 1 out for so long. You know, Yone and Hui are both hitting like full build. We're going to get to the point where everybody's health bars are just a single notch.
Yeah, somebody getting one shot through GA. You know, that's a lot of fun.
Alrighty, now I believe pretty soon here we are going to be going back to the desk, so I think Papa Smitty and Basil are standing by. How y'all doing? Where y'all at?
And this was a mechanics check from 10 mechanically talented players, and I don't know about you, Basil, but I lost my mind halfway through that game.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting flashbacks to the C9 game. I actually typed back and I was like, oh my god, we just threw the same way. We almost threw that one game where the Surdy TP'd in near the end of the game, and I was like, oh my god, we lost. Like, how did we lose? But it was really intense.
The Wii is complicated in this one, right? There's a lot of Wii's going on. There's FlyQuest NACL. We have a lot of different allegiances going here, but at the end of the day, the thing I feel good about is the fans got some good reasons to donate. I can see at the bottom here, the Conservation Fund already at the $1,636 in, exclamation point donate, and also the QR code at the top, guys. We want to get as much money as possible to pushing the planet forward. I think we can show you guys the incentives again, just to remind you of what the stakes are here, because we've already actually earned quite a bit. So The NACL team, if you ever watch NACL stream, they ain't got no team headshots. They got no pictures, so we got to give them pictures. Busio playing Pyke. We still got 2 games left. I think this means he will actually lock it in, but obviously purchase may vary depending on how his Twitter has gone so far. Twitch chat suggests team names. That's something that we can definitely talk about for some of the later games. LS
Please
versus
no
Whippo.
uwoos.
No uwoos. I know you're a uwoo hater. Some yeah is possible. LS and Whippo will be drafting for game 3 after we work out our captains for game 2. They will be coming in, so it'll be good to get LS in. He's co-streaming right now over at twitch.tv/ImLS. Jensen will stream. He's committed to it. He's had a couple this year. There will be at least one more in 2024. The Jensen fans out there should be wanting that badly because his Hui ran the server in game number 1. All pros in one Discord call. The listen-ins were already chaotic, it felt like, in that first game. We actually had the dual listen-in. I think we might actually get that going. We'll talk about that as it goes on. The next one here is a bit of a sponsor shout-out to Andeseat, but it's a fun one in that, you know, pro players attempting to follow complicated instructions to build real-life items, usually great content, so definitely want to get the cameras onto that. And then the longer-term ones, the player model calendar, and those Crocs. Again, everybody at home knows the Crocs discourse. People want to wear them on stage. They're not allowed. FlyQuest willing to tank the aggro for 5 of these great 10 players to be able to get them to wear Crocs on stage. So fun to see. I imagine Richard and Jensen looking over some of the clips from that one, because if there's one thing I take away from that is that when you're a Fed Hui and that ultimate goes on, the tick tick boom is like 80% of a health bar. I mean, that seems to be the number.
That was scary.
Wait, I have a question for Basil. What does, if that game had to be one cat, what would that cat look like? Because
So I actually have it drawn. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
All right,
so,
all right.
1 second. Let me do this.
All right, I see Miko in the background.
Oh, I mean, frick. Yeah, there we go.
Whoa.
Yes!
Whoa, okay, walk me through this. Walk me through this.
So, I just like flashed the stream by accident. Oops.
That's
fine. There's a JoJo meme of like 2 people walking towards each other, and I swear the entire game I was like, as long as Surdy's not in the picture, Jensen looks really good here. But if Surdy's in the picture, it's such a crazy like duel. So I thought this was really funny to reflect that.
I must admit, I do like your like Hui's scepter or whatever it is, the paintbrush energy you've got going on over there. I'm seeing it now that you've drawn it.
Yes, that's how you can tell the paint is on Surdy because he lost. So, so yeah.
The paint dripped on the ear there. Unfortunate. Well, I appreciate. Go ahead, Kobe.
I will say personally, I think that the more items that Hui gets, the bigger that the paintbrush should get. I feel like that's a nice adaptation we learned there from Basil, the big paintbrush.
Lore accurate, actually.
I think we're ready to take a break. I think everybody needs a bit of a break. When we come back from the break, we got captain's draft. If you're wondering what that means in chat, we're going to mix up these 10 players. We're going to elect 2 captains from the LCS team, from the winning LCS team. And then hopefully get some banter, because which teammates you pick and why can be affectionate. It can be haterism. It can be based on game 1. We'll have to wait and see. So a couple minutes, we'll come back, and 2 more show matches today. After the first one, how could you miss it? So back in a few.